Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Melissa Devo, and I'm the publisher of the new book, Letters of Love. This one is coming out in October, and it's around pregnancy and infant loss awareness. And I have one of our authors, Angelica, who wrote her letter in the book. And we're just here today, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat about her letter and what she does, basically. So welcome, Angelica. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So what is your name and what do you do?
Well, I'm glad you asked me my name because everyone mispronounces my name, and it's okay. It's okay. It's Angelica.
Sorry.
It's fine. But no, I always have to correct people. So anyway, it's Angelica, Angelica Fricot, and I already forgot the second question.
Oh, who are you? What do you do, and who are you?
Yeah. Well, I suppose in the context of this book, and really in the context of my life, I am, number one, a mother. I have 3 beautiful children at home and my beautiful angel, Bridget. So I am mainly a mum, but at the moment I am starting to really work on ways that I can support the stillbirth community. So I'm just really starting to put into action a lot of ideas that I've been listing in my notebook for 5 years since my baby girl Bridget died. So yeah.
And you're Australian as well.
Yes. I live in Australia, New South Wales.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what your letter is about and who it's addressed to.
Yeah. So the letter is to Bridget, and I started off writing, it's been 5 years, because it just so happened that her 5-year anniversary mark had just passed as I started writing this letter. So that was my starting point. And where it took me to was one of the hardest moments, I think, in the lost journey, or in the lost journey, is when you're confronted with the news, with the words. So from a stillbirth perspective, Bridget was stillborn in utero at full term, and I was just going to a routine ultrasound in preparation for birth, and out of nowhere those words came out. Sorry, there's no heartbeat. So the letter took me on a healing journey where I was able to go back to that moment, the moment that I've been avoiding because I just haven't felt ready. I've gone through every other moment, scenario around her stillbirth, the weeks leading up to the pregnancy, the weeks leading up to her birth, all the little conversations that I had in my head with my midwife, with the doctors, but I haven't yet been able to go back to that moment where I heard those words, when I was laying on my back, getting the ultrasound, and the doctor saying, "I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat." So writing in general has always been a very therapeutic process for me. It really helps to just unleash all that is building up inside, grief-wise. So I was really, I guess, in many ways pleased that happened, that I was able to do that. And then what else do I write about in the book, in a letter? And mainly, it's just me having a conversation with Bridget, because that's my style in my relationship with her. I very much just feel her presence in a very real way, I would say. So we just have a really close relationship that's just been there since the beginning. And yeah, there's a few other things that I talk about in the letter, but that's really the main thing that was a takeaway for me.
Yeah, and anybody that reads the book anyway is going to read the letter. So it's beautiful how you go into the details and the conversations that you have. And I was really inspired by your letter, actually. So thank you for writing that. So why did you decide to join the Letters of Love series, or in particular this book?
Yeah, well, it's definitely something that I've always wanted to do. I write all the time, and it's something that's been on my mind that I would like to do, write a book, have people read my story in hope to, inspire and support others along their way. So really it was just a matter of a friend flicking an email saying applications closed tomorrow, and I just went, oh my gosh, I have to do this. And yeah, particularly because it was around Bridget's 5th anniversary, and I was just in a spiral down mode in my grief, a lot of just the trauma, the grief that's just going to be there forever, new things that are coming up. We're just, trying to surface, and I just knew that this would be a healthy way for me to kind of put a hug around all of that and deal with it in a productive way. So yeah.
So just touching on that, how do you think when you're writing, how do you think it affected you, like while you were going through the writing process?
Yeah, I think it's just really it's an outlet. It's a way to release what is going on internally, and I have found that I've had like 5 top therapies in my grief journey, and writing's been one of them, yoga's been one of them, listening to like music, talking, and just alternative therapies like acupuncture, kinesiology, all of those things help release what is just bottled up inside and stored. So writing is just one of those methods of just letting it out, I guess. Yeah.
And how did you actually feel while you were writing? Mm-hmm. So in particular,
so when I was writing, and the idea came to my mind, or I felt Bridget prompting me to let's go back to that moment, and I call it that moment in the letter all the time, that moment when the doctor said, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat. I was feeling nervous, I was getting shaky, and I could obviously just suppress that and go, oh, I don't want to go there, or I'm not ready. But I feel like this is something that's been kind of in the back of my head or at the back of my heart for a while. And I feel like every year at every anniversary, there's like a huge epiphany moment of healing where Bridget's just really trying to help me release certain things that might be holding me down or keep me in suffering. So but then when I just started writing, I think it's always just a matter of just doing. You just got to start. And then I started writing, and it's interesting because the letter's 3,000 words, or about 3,000 words, but the section where I wrote about kind of going back to reheal that moment was only a very short paragraph, but I found that was the most impactful section of my writing. And then after I wrote that short paragraph, I was like, oh, I did it. So it was a huge relief, and I was proud of myself, and just, I suppose, happy that I could do that.
That's nice to hear. So we'll go back to I guess how you think people will how the book in particular, the whole book and the series, how can it help? How do you think it can help people that are going through this the same situation or something similar?
Yeah, well, I know if, like, I'm a person that always kind of goes back to my own experience to try and understand others. That's my starting point. And I know there was definitely a time when I was just like you just feel so lost and you don't know where to go for help. You don't know, like, I remember in the very early stages, I could not hold a phone. I could not think what number to call, or like, where can I get help from? The thought of Googling books or anything was just too overwhelming. But you need something. So, if this book is made available, or is well, like, it's kind of, people know about it, then it can be easily told to someone that is experiencing a loss. They might say, oh, well, I know there's this book, and it can be a resource, obviously, that can offer help. Because I did read a few books, and I know most parents that go through loss are reading books of people who have experienced similar experiences, because they're looking for, like, what I'm going through, how many people have gone through it, and what I'm experiencing, is this normal? Because people around me think I'm not normal because the grief is so incredibly intense when you lose your child. So I feel that, just reading a collection of letters that are one from the heart, but also written to the parent's child, like, I think it can do a lot of things. Like, you said yourself, you felt inspired, and I feel parents will feel inspired, because my whole philosophy is around grief is to reconnect with your heart, to reconnect with your child, because they're the ones that are going to ultimately lift you and heal you. There's no greater love than that love that you have for your child. So yeah, I just feel the book can help on many different levels.
Yeah, it's so true. The love for a child is, and especially when they pass, it's so different than a grief of another type of relative that might be older. I think it's just when you lose your own child, it's like a burden in ways. You've got something heavy over your heart. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's nice. We'll wrap it up a little bit now. Can you give us an idea of, well, where can we contact you? If somebody wants to reach out to you, where can they go?
Yeah, just on social media. I've just got Instagram and Facebook. I called myself the Stillborn Author, so you can find me there. Eventually, as I mentioned at the beginning, developing resources. So eventually I'm hoping to have a good website and lots of different, not lots, but a few good programs and resources to support the community.
Great, thank you so much, and we'll put the links in the comments as well. So thank you so much, Angelique. Angelica. I can't pronounce your name, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you being part of Letters of Love as well. It's been a great experience with all the authors in this book, especially for me, because of what I've been through as well. It's very dear to my heart. So thank you. And anybody that wants to purchase this book, it is out in October 22, so this year, and we will have a launch party. And if you are really interested in purchasing this book, please join the Facebook group. It's called the Letters of Love book, and we will be going live in there on the 15th of October. So thank you again, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.